Welcome, everyone. Great to see so many participants attending this webinar from Sharefox in collaboration with Bonzer. I think we had different webinars over a year and a half. We had 9 or 10 webinars, and I've never seen such an interest. So we obviously touched upon an important topic, and hopefully we will bring some value to the participants here today. For those of you who don't know and are so familiar with Sharefox as a company, we're pretty young as a company, founded in 2018, officially launched in 2019, headquartered in Oslo. But as any modern software company, I think we're 5 or 6 nationalities. We are spread on similar amount of countries. We have Nordics as the main market. We want to write 500, but we're not close there, but it's in use all over Nordics. And also, as we put on the second line here, is actually customers using this software in 11 countries on 4 continents. So we are happy to see that we have solved rental needs from a system and software part, that it's solving problems both in Canada, US, Australia, parts of Europe, mainly in Nordics. And we got the first customer in South Africa just last week. On today's topic, AI in marketing, we work a lot with this ourselves. Just yesterday, we had a new customer in Sweden, and we asked them, where did you find this? How did you discover Sharefox? And they said, ChatGPT. So we work a lot on this, and we see that also the way we now benchmark different kind of software in our cases, and maybe rental services in your cases, it's important to create right type of content and do the right grips, to put it that way, to be able to appear in those searches. And this has been true. We enable businesses to create new rental-based services, and then we transform existing rental operations. That's our role in this part. And I have to say, we discover a surprisingly high amount of, when you do a rental operation, of Excel sheets, Post-it notes, white label whiteboards, and so on, and calendars that you partly made. And when you get some volume, you will need a system to handle that operation, and we fill that role. Good. Short about Sharefox. Pass the ball to you, Stian, to give a short introduction about yourself and Bonzer as a company.
Hello, everybody. Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much, Fred, for inviting us here in Bonzer to participate in this really exciting webinar. My name is Stian. I'm a director here at Bonzer. We are the largest purely organic agency in Northern Europe, or at least Scandinavia, we think also Northern Europe. That means we work with structuring information on websites so that mathematical logic, whether it's ChatGPT, AI, search engines, etc., can find and understand that our clients are relevant for whichever types of search, whichever types of commercial search intentions they want to be found on. I'll be walking through how to do this more from a practical point of view when it comes to visibility in AI a little bit later, but that's a quick intro of who we are and what we do.
And when we bring up this topic about visibility in AI search, it's because if you use Sharefox, and it's a turnkey platform for rental commerce, it might be your main website, or you might be a part of your main website handling the rental part. That means that you have a web shop for your customers, being B2B customers or B2C customer, or maybe a mix. And that makes it important for you as a user of Sharefox to use the capabilities within the platform to be able to reach to your target group and your customers. And yes, you could see in the middle here, you also have a lot of our customers have different departments, different locations. There could be different assortment on their different locations. There could be different services around different locations. To be able to differentiate, and that is also vital. It's important to be able to discover the service that you have within your city or that location. And then on the right side, you see those of you who use Sharefox in daily operations, all the rental orders, but all the things you publish to the website and all the things you do that in the daily rental operations. And this touches also a bit upon what you will talk about later, Stian, because to be able to provide a complete rental solution, we have done a lot of integrations in Sharefox. Because if you have rental customers, you might want to know who they are. You want them to identify themselves through bank ID or MIT ID or other types. You should provide so they be able to pay. So they pay through nets with Visa or other type, or maybe create an invoice. You would use the marketing tools within platform to reach your customers. And it's a lot of revenue going through this platform, so it needs to be connected to your accounting and your accounting system. And on top of that, not at least, this is a special areas. We work a lot on access and self-service. That's maybe our competitive edge here. So as you see on the left side here, it's keyless and self-service. So we integrate with different type of locking systems. So you're open up for customers to use your service day and night. But also by doing all this integration, that is the purpose is to get a complete solution. But by doing all these integrations and also linking to all these partners, we get authority as a software company. And I know you will touch a bit about that later on, Stian. So doing this is also, it is a side effect to it. And we get quite a lot of customers that, okay, how did you discover Sharefox? Yeah, I found it on the integration partners at Power Office or similar. So I know that's participants there working on the tourist and sports industry and tourism machinery and others, and doing the similar things in your area would and can be important. Good. As I promised, a bit of a sidestep here. This is not AI in marketing, but AI in general. How do we work on it in Sharefox, and where are we, and what will we do in the near future? And by that, I pass it on to you, Christian, our CTO in Sharefox.
Hi, everyone. Very happy to be with you today. So very quickly, we have a lot of AI developments in Sharefox in different departments. And the marketing initiative that Fred is talking about today is just one of them. But there are many things happening. We have, like all the software companies, we have a lot of efficiency initiatives by using AI by our product and engineering teams. So we have a bit of faster coding and better prototypes and everything. And I hope that our merchants through that, they will just see a little bit like more features or faster deliveries or better quality. So we're very happy that this is happening in the world. Then we have a bit closer to like what our customers can see and feel. We work, of course, in other departments too. So for example, during onboarding or our existing merchants can use our AI-based help center assistant. So it's possible today it will be, actually, it's almost live, so it's possible to use natural language to search to our help articles and to get a bit of a custom advice to your problem and with links to different help articles. And I think that would make the experience more pleasant and efficient. Then so that helps a bit on our support interactions and yeah, when you have support needs, basically. Then we have a few actually AI native feature initiatives as well. So we have released a small what we call a small smart configurator that is actually present in admin settings today, and people can from there, for example, control their calendar and open different days or close different holidays. And also it's quite smart. It knows your country, so it will take care of the holidays in different countries. And yeah, the merchants that used it, they were very happy. So this is normally used in onboarding, but if you want it, and if for whatever reason it's not active on your site, just let us know. We'll put it on. And then, of course, we do have a lot of R&D happening on even stronger features because there are many new AI technologies going on. And we have some of our merchants have been contacted by our product department, and there have been some dialogues and interviews. And again, if any of you are very interested to talk with us about AI beyond marketing, just please let us know. Yeah, so more news will come on that in the future. Fred, passing back to you.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you for summing up all the initiative we do around AI, and I think it's relevant to our customers using Sharefox also. Even if you don't do coding, you have a support function, you have interaction with the customer, so on. And as you said, there's already a smart configurator pilot that they could enable if it's not already enabled within the product. Good. As a backdrop for today's topic, for years we've been working on digital marketing, all of us, on how to get visible in Google, and that's been the thing. And we see, ideally would be a bit broader, but when we Google, we use small sentences, short sentences. I made a suggestion here with Hyraverkti Karlstad. That's not how we normally do it. And then we see there's a lot of things happening in Google now, and Stian will present that as well, the results we get. But when we do ChatGPT and similar tools, we prompt in a totally different way. I think all of us present here do that today. You do it smartly. Give me an oversikt over følgende, over the tool rental services in this survey. Could you benchmark? And it's complex prompting, and it's very wise. And to be able to do that the right way and then also be visible, it's important. And that's what Stian will touch about later on. As you could see from a result here in ChatGPT, my small test, you get the big ones. This is Renta and Lambertsson is the big players in Sweden. But then you have Sturbutikken, Lokalbutikk i Karlstad, and they obviously done some right. They've done quite a lot of things right in Google in general, and also for an AI search. So that's really interesting. But the way we go from small short sentences to prompts is an important topic, and will be, if not deep dive, be elaborated later on. Good. Before we go into AI specific tips, visibility is important in general. So if you haven't done stage 1, you can just jump to stage 7. So I will just show the capabilities that already in Sharefox. If you publish a new site in Sharefox, opening in a rental service, there's an SEO settings in general. We call it the global settings, where you could put up all the important tools to let Google and other search engines understand what kind of business are you, where you're located, what are you providing, and so on. So this is important to do anyhow. And as you could see here in the example, there's a tutorial also on the right side on how to do it, and you get tips along the way. So that is on your service in general. And then there's also on the product and category level. So if you see here, and if you publish your rental assortment, there's an SEO tab where you should fill out a bit based on insight on what is the search for in my area, what are the words they search for, what is relevant to me, and so on. And you do that both on the content and on the picture part. The picture part is actually picked from a rental service in Vienna based on Sharefox. It's a self-service rental, tool rental service from 2 locations in Vienna. So by doing this part in general to the general settings, you done stage 1, okay. And then of course it's important to do, let's call it content marketing, to publish some content that is relevant to your customers and what will they search for. So we have one example here from one of our customers in a self-storage facility. Another example here in tool rental and connected to the tool that rental to do the different activities. And also an example from sports. I think it's from the fabulous Outset team being present here today in Berlin. They did fantastic things. And you could see how you create content and around different topics relevant to your service. And this should be, you should focus on this either just on SEO in general, and then might apply some techniques on the AI visibility. So it's important to do the basics first.
if we just want to think about this from a sort of big picture point, it's not like the humans searching have changed. People are still the same. People have been the same for thousands of years. The things that change are more the methods and sort of logics, way of thinking that people have when they use different types of tools. And when it comes to AI, basically, we have to think a little bit more complex, a little bit more nuanced, a little bit deeper. And the core principle that we need to apply in all the content that we produce is something which is called EEAT. EAT stands for Experience, Expertise, Authority, Trustworthiness. It's basically a quick term to keep in mind that when you're, for example, writing an article, let's say you're a storage rental company, when you're writing articles about your different rental locations where people can store, you might need to include maybe a case study of somebody who rented some storage unit there and what happened during that rental and how it helped them. You might also need to include some information and structure it in a good way about the different types of units you have. You might also want to include which types of technology you're using so that people can access this. You might want to include an article about your partner, Sharefox, for example. So EEAT is basically about, through the content on your website, whether it's text or video, or might also be podcasts, basically showing that you're a real company with real people, with real customers that work with this every day. And if you do EEAT properly, you can be visible across different types of search. Here you see one example of just one content article on our domain. Hva er godt SEO-innhold? Basically a guide. What is good search engine optimized content? Here it is in Google. Here it is in the Google AI overview. Sorry. Here it is in Google's traditional search engine referenced, and here it is directly referenced in ChatGPT. One article, but following the EEAT principles, structuring the information, operationalizing it both with some case content, but also with basic, let's say, academic knowledge about a given topic. Another thing we should always think about and monitor to maintain our visibility in LLMs is to keep our content fresh. By fresh content, we're talking about updating our information during the year. Usually here in Bonzer, we recommend that content should be updated at least every 6 months, but at the minimum every 12 months. And when I'm talking about updating content, I'm not saying you have to write a new article every week about the same topic. It might just be updating some links. It might be changing some paragraphs. It might be referencing maybe a law changed in 2025, which wasn't the same in 2024. The reason being is that the LLMs, they like to provide high quality original content, but which is also relevant and new. So if we write good content, and we can keep it updated, then we're very much getting locked in to what the LLMs are searching for. Another thing we would recommend is that when you write the content, think about it more in a conversational tone of voice. Don't think that you're writing sort of a entry into the encyclopedia. It should be written in a more natural language. Sort of more like if you were explaining this to, let's say, a room of 10 of your potential business partners. Then you're not going to be like a robot explaining it. You'll be more nuanced, more in a conversational tone of voice. And the last thing I would like to sort of press that is very important is that obviously you need to make sure that you're writing good content, but you also need to make sure that you write it consistently. Slow and steady wins the SEO, GEO, generative engine optimization race. We usually recommend, if it's possible, that you write 2 to 3 what's called informative content pieces every month. If you can manage to do 3, then do 2. If you can manage to do 2, then do 1. But do it consistently. Consistency is the key. Slow and steady will win the race. Thereby, you're always participating in the conversation around whichever topic is important for you. And through that, you show that you are an up-to-date and highly knowledgeable domain talking about whichever topic, again, which is relevant. By doing that, you'll be indexed, you'll be quoted, as it's called in AI speak, for a much broader range of topics. And it'll also help you in the traditional search engines. If you have more content, nuanced content, talking about it consistently, you'll be indexed for 10x the amount of keywords if you do it in an unnuanced and then inconsistent way. So if you're not already doing it, check up on when was the last time we actually published something about the business that we're in. When was the last time we wrote an article about a happy customer? Basically, are we keeping up to date with the topics happening in our field? And also, are we engaging with the community?
Started by introducing what you call the EAT model with a double E. And you said that, okay, if you're a rental company, you should show some experience in the field. You should make some case studies. That's one practical tip. You should show that you have some expertise in the field you work on. That's about creating content about it. That's another E. And then it's about authority, as you touched upon. And that's also, as I showed, about linking both the link structure on your own website, but have other sources linking back to you, because that brings up the authority of your site. And then it's about being trustworthy, as you said. That the way you create the content, the way you do it, you get an expertise level in your field, and that's important. And
indeed,
that's a good model to follow.
Yeah, it's a very good model, and it's also sort of when you would let's say you would explain your business to a human standing in front of you, you will obviously tell them what type of experience you have. You would maybe reference some happy customers. You would show, this is our office, here is our location, this is my name, here is my background. And a lot of the work of search engine optimization or generative engine optimization is basically making sure that the way you are in reality is also how you are understood on your web page. Trustworthiness, that might be having, for example, an author profile when you're writing content. Who is the person writing this content? Which type of education does he or she have? What type of experience does he or she have? What is the name? Where are they located? If you have lots of different locations, etc. It might also be sort of just making sure that all of your basic business information is correctly set up. In Norway, we have organisasjonsnummer, like what's your postal address, like these types of things. So trustworthiness, it's more an aspiration to be on the web page as you would probably be as a human talking to another human.